I decided to do a ski gap course in the summer rather than the winter, partly because financially I couldn't afford it in the winter, so I've spent the time before now saving up for it. And also I thought it'd be quite an interesting experience skiing at a different time of the year as to normal. I chose the Warren Smith Ski Academy because it has a great reputation across Europe. Warren's a top guy, renowned throughout the sort of European snow sport industry. It's great socially, and in terms of coaching it's sort of first class, so you can't really go wrong with it. The group's very diverse. In terms of age, we've got some guys on the course who are 16 years old who've just finished their GCSEs, ranging right up to some people who are sort of early 30s, and even some people in particular who are sort of 50s. In terms of ability, it's quite a wide range. We've got some people, especially the younger guys, who have sort of done 4 or 5 weeks skiing and have used this entire time to sort of progress up to their instructor standard. Well, I started racing, alpine racing, when I was 13 years old, and I stopped that when I was 16, so I picked up quite a lot of hours on skis over that period of time, sort of living out in France for sort of half the year training and racing on the European circuit and stuff. But since then, when I was 16, I stopped racing and sort of just skied recreationally, sort of family holidays and school trips. So yeah, this period now over this summer has been sort of the longest time I've skied in sort of 3 years, so it's been awesome. Well, obviously I'm going to university in September, so the idea is to use the qualification to sort of coach during holidays, and then hopefully use that to then progress onto my ISIA level 3 instructors. So over the whole 9 weeks, sort of split up into different periods. Obviously the first week the coaches use that to assess the group's overall ability, and the group then gets split up into different groups depending on their abilities. In terms of week to week work, the coaches kind of split it up, so we may have sort of central theme one week and piece performance the second week, and it's sort of a continuous pattern, and obviously you work on one thing one week and then you may regress or progress, so it's all sort of building up towards the final 2 weeks really, and merging all aspects together for the final assessments. The coach's skiing ability is obviously very high. Everyone on the Gap course looks up to them and respects them. They're very, very helpful guys on and off the piste. If ever we need to talk to them about skiing, they're always there to help us. Obviously we have quite small groups, which is really, really effective in terms of getting the best out of them, because their knowledge is kind of spread out over fewer people, so it's good, really good. A regular day on the Gap course, depending on your sleeping pattern, you might get up at sort of 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning, and then depending on sort of whereabouts you're staying, which hotel you're in, you'll have breakfast in your allocated accommodation, and then you meet up with your coach for the week and your fellow groupies, and then you head on down to the ski lift, which takes you all the way up to the top of the glacier. It's about a 45-50 minute journey. It depends also on how many race teams are there, because in the summertime there's quite a lot of international race teams, so it's busy at times. Then it's on to warm-ups, because everyone's quite cold, and then it's basically everyone goes off into their groups for a good sort of 4 or 5 hour ski, really focused skiing with their coach, and then back down. Stretching is important, big emphasis on stretching. Apparently if we don't stretch we don't ski the next day, so and then after stretching it's sort of chill out time. You can do what you want really, just head on down to volleyball or tennis or the bar if you really want to go there, so yeah, it's fun. Saas-Fee as a resort is it's pretty unique really, because it's so high up. There's quite a few gondola lift systems. It's mostly gondolas, not very many chair lifts, but even in the summertime there's still a massive amount of skiing to be done up on the glacier itself. Basically when you get up there it's like any other winter resort, but in summertime it's quite spectacular. When you get up to the top you just look down, there's all the green valleys, but yeah, you're skiing in an alpine resort basically, so it's good. The snow can vary from bulletproof sheet ice to relatively soft slush, but in between those two variables there's quite a lot of just awesome skiing really. Sometimes you can get up there and it's just like perfect, just like any other sort of January day. We've had 2 powder days. The first we had about 80 centimetres of snow, and the mountain was actually closed while the snow was falling, so quite a few of us spent a lot of time building this huge igloo, which was quite a big achievement. There's quite a few pictures and videos posted around the internet. So yeah, that was fun. And then we actually had some snow just recently, and today the snow was pretty perfect, so it was awesome. The day it snowed sort of 70 odd centimetres, we were on a avalanche awareness course, which is part of the Gap Year course to set you up for going off and finding jobs. Basically, we sort of finished about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and loads of us stayed up there and just built this huge igloo with the assistance of the ski guide himself. So yeah, it was fun. It was good. We incorporate video analysis into our week skiing. I think it's 2 or 3 times a week, and it's really beneficial to see sort of the mistakes or the positive aspects of your skiing that you've made during, the morning skiing. It's nice also because the coaches are there with you and they're giving you sort of individual feedback. They spend a good sort of 5-10 minutes on each person. So yeah, it's really effective to sort of write down on your notepad and then take it up the next day and work on things that you've been told that you need to work on. There are 2 accommodation options for the Gap course. The first is the Hotel de Glacier, which is the 4-star hotel. This is the hotel where all the coaches and Warren himself is based. The other option is the Hotel Dom, which is about 50 yards away from the Hotel de Glacier, which is a 3-star hotel, but is equally as nice, comfortable. Personally, I'm staying in the Hotel Dom for the entire course. I chose the Dom partly due to financial constraints, but also because just it looked alright on the website, so I just went for it. Okay, the resort of Saas-Fee by day is quite good fun. There's lots of sporting options. I play a lot of tennis, and the boys play a lot of volleyball. So we all get stuck into that. Quite a few volleyball tournaments have taken place over the course of the 2 months. So we're all improved quite dramatically. Maybe more so in volleyball than in skiing. By night also, there's quite a few fun places to go to, if I can call them that. One place in particular, the Alpen Bar, is a frequent visit by many of us. Lots of us end up there on a Friday or a Saturday night. My highlights of the course. I think obviously the powder days have been pretty big because that just improves the skiing for the next sort of week or 2 weeks. So it's always pretty special, especially in the middle of August when you look out the window and it's tipping it down at the top of the glacier. So those days have been pretty special. Other highlights, obviously passing my level 1 to then progress on to level 2. That's obviously a big achievement. Very important to get that level before you can progress on. Also being overall volleyball champions with my fellow roommate, that's been a pretty big achievement. There's been a lot of effort been put into our volleyball, so yeah, it's good. I would definitely recommend the Warren Smith Gap Year course. It's a whole lot of fun. You get 2 great qualifications out of it for life, which can take you anywhere in the world. It's just you meet some fantastic people, friends that you're going to stay in contact with for years to come, and yeah, it just sets you up in great stead for sort of a skiing career. Basically, it's awesome.